Hi, welcome to the last assignment in Connect. We're going to start with the problem 1. The first one is just the same letter and we add one number because we have D1. You don't see the number, we never write the number 1, and the 7, same base, we add the exponent. Number 2, for this problem I pick Germany and United States because they're easy to see. Is the first one and the last one. So notice Germany is 20 and United States 57. So I'm roll down. I see United States right here with Germany B, and that's it. So it's B. Let's check. Number 3, very simple. It's just the bottom number, and that's in the 2009 years. So you just place those two information. 15,500 in 2009. For this one, I picked the last two because they're easy to count. I'm assuming if you look at the graph, there are small numbers. So and it's easy to recognize 10 and 11. You can see if it's 1 or 2. Here on the data set, I only see 1. So I know there's 10 and 11, there's only 1. There's no 10, there's only 11. Now on A and 9, we have two graphs with the 1 and I maybe 3 or 2. So we have a choice here. It may be 3 or 2. So let's look for A and 9. We have one A over here. 1, 9, and that's it. We don't have any more A and 9. So we know it's 2. So we can pick A. And this one, very simple. Add the numbers and divide it by the number of teams, which is 5. That's what I mean by mean, the mean. Add all the numbers and divide it by how many we have, which is 5 numbers. In this case, we have 5 teams. We just writing the expression, we have 12R. That's all. We just write 12 and then the letter R. The letter represents the money, how much you pay for the number of candles. You have 12, and then they say each of those costs R. So you have to pay for the number of candles times R. That's the meaning of multiplication. Review the concept behind multiplication. We say also multiplication is the repeating addition with the same number or the same quantity. Now, number 7. Similar, but in this case we have a subtraction. A minus 34. That's all you have to type in the answer box. A minus 34. Number 8. Notice that the last two numbers, this one and that one, will cancel, leaving just 1, because 9 times 1 over 9, when you multiply, this is like 9 over 1, you cancel the top with the bottom, leaving 1. Now notice that 2D is the same, because we already know the value for D, so we substitute D by 9. 2 times 9. That gives you 18. 18 plus 1 is just 19. So remember, this 9 will replace the D, because this is D. D is equal to 9. So 2 times D is the same as 2 times 9, which is 18. Plus 1, 19. We have to do distributive property, because that number has to multiply with each of those inside the h and the 7. And then we have to add all the h separately, and then we add all the k's, and in the end we add all the numbers. So I have 6h minus 8h is minus 2h. I have to subtract, and the big number is the sign of the big number is the one that is gonna be in the final result. 6h minus 8h is equal to minus 2h. That's the number of h. We have two negatives h, and then k will be, if you notice, you have to be very careful with signs. Double negative means a positive here, so this number is positive. So we have 1k plus 9k is 10k's. Okay, And then the numbers we have 6 times 7, 42. You can check 6 times 7, 42. And then we have, that's it. That's all we have. Number 10. If this problem is with an equation, just remember, add first. So 8 plus 4 is 12 on the left. I have 12. 12 Q, I added all the Q's on the left. And then 38 minus 2 is 36. Last, we divide by this number. We divided by that number. So Q is equal to 3. Because 36 divided by 12 is 3. And this will cancel. 12 on top and 12 on the bottom will cancel. So we know the value for Q will be just the right side. Now we're going to the next 10 problem. We add first plus 2 on the left plus 2 on the right. That gives 3C equal minus 9. We add first, all right, by plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. Remember, an equation is like a balance. You can add or subtract, but you have to do it on both sides. In order to simplify, you can add or subtract. If you add on the left, then you have to add on the right. And then the last, we divide by this number. So we already know the answer. This is minus 3. 12. Same thing, but remember to do distributive property. With the negative, you have to be careful. That's subtracting. You only see one negative, so it doesn't cancel. All this number becomes negative. So first, we do distributive property. If you have parentheses, first you do distributive property. That's the distributive property. Then we add. 6 minus 5 is just n. These two are just n, right? And then we just add plus 15. Left, right, plus 15. So that gives me n, that cancel, equal 18. So we know the value for n, which is 18. Oops, we make a mistake. But let's go back. 6 minus 5, n is just n. We have 15 plus 15, they cancel. Oh, the 20 here. 1 plus 1 is 2. 20a. We need 20a. Let's do that. 28. The difference of 4 and a number is 9. So it's just the difference of 4 and a number is 9. The difference of 4 and a number. Remember, the difference is minus, is subtraction. The idea of the difference of 4 and a number is 9. Let's check the first one. Now, what is the number? Yeah, notice that between 4 and 9, the distance between 4 and 9 is 5. So we know the number is 5. But since it's negative x, so we need to put the negative 5. It's very simple. The difference between 4 and 9 is 5. But the x is with the negative, so we just put a negative. In order to cancel this negative, in order to add 4 plus 5, I need to cancel the negatives. So I have to introduce another negative. Because double negative means a positive number. Let me just smile here. 4 minus, and then if I substitute by minus 5, this 2 will make positive. And I know that 4 plus 5 will be equal to 9. That's why. Now number 14. Same idea. We would say 9. Okay, 9 degrees. So I put the negative by the product. So I have a product, a number, and 6. So that's 6x. Because the number is x. I don't know the number. So that's the unknown variable. And so it will be 9 minus 6x equal to minus 27. So what is the number? Yeah, for this case, the difference between 9 and 27, if I am 27 minus 9, I have 18 divided by 6. So I know the number is 3. So notice, because I have, and this, remember, if it is negative, we add the negative. If the number is multiplied by 6, then we divide it by 6. So this is the trick. Difference between 9 and 27 is 18. That's the distance between 9 and 27. Since this number is with a negative, so I put a negative. Since this number multiplied by 6, then I divide by 6. So 18 divided by 6 is 3. Oops. I'm sorry. I have another negative value. Forget this is negative 27. So I got two negative values. Means if I have two negative values, what it means, everything is positive. So it's just a 3. Let's 9 from negative. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, the distance between negative 27 is not 18 anymore. That's why it's now 3. Make a double mistake I make today. We have the difference between 9 and negative 27. So I need to add those two numbers. Plus 9, that's 36. And remember, since we have two negatives, the answer will be positive, but it's 36 divided by 6, then the correct answer. That will be 6 over here. 6. So my mistake was that we have double negatives. So it means the result, the final result will be positive. But also we have from negative 27 to 9. So when you walk from negative 27, you reach 0. And then from 0, you reach the 9. So you adding those two numbers, give you 36. And then you divide it by 6 because the 6 is multiplying the x. So you divide it by 6 to find the x. And that gives you 6. And this is 25. This is 25 divided by 3/5. Remember, we can flip the second. We can do this by hand, like 25 multiplied by 5/3. And then they multiply and divided by 3. Or we can use the calculator. I guess that's the easy way to do. I can use the calculator and say, I'm sorry, it's not 25, it's 24. I'm saying 24 divided, open parentheses, 3 divided by 5, close parenthesis, equal. That's 40. So it means we have 40 bags. And that's the meaning for division. That's what we do here, is just a division in a word problem with a fraction. So it's just to understand the idea of how many 3/5 we have in 24. For that one is also, we can use the calculator. That's, I guess, let me see. The whole candy bar is like 1. It's like 1. Then we subtract 1/6 because I give it max, and then 8 1/12 from the same candy bar. What fraction of the candy bar is left? They ask you what is left. We don't, all right? So we can check. Let's see if we can do it in the calculator. So I have 1 minus 1 divided by 6. It's that much. And then minus 1/2 is just 0.5. You can say 1 divided by 5 also. Oh no, sorry. let's see, 1 minus 1 divided by 6, and then minus 1 divided by 2 is this much. Not much there. And we need the answer not as a decimal. There's something wrong here. Not as a decimal, but as a fraction. Because they ask what fraction. So the calculator doesn't work in this case. They give us a decimal. It's very hard to see the decimal. Well, another way you can change the fractions into with the same denominator on the bottom. You can say we can have 6 over 6, that's 1, minus 1 over 6, and then we can say here, as so if we multiply this by 3, it will be 3 times 1 is 3, and 3 times 2 is 6. Now we have the same denominator, so what we need to do is just subtract the bottom. 6 minus 1, 5, minus 3, 2, and then the bottom is 6. Then we simplify by dividing with 2, and that's just 1/3. That's another way. Well, let's do that one. Find a way. So that's 1 divided by 3. Count the left. 17. Yeah, this one requires a little more work, so let's try with the big calculator. The small one will not handle that one because we have mixed numbers. So if we want to do the easy way, let's bring the math way and express the problem right here. All right, we have, notice that 6, 1, 6, and all these numbers in the bottom. And the right will be the same as the left side. Just the top will be different. So since the right is the same as the left, I have to multiply by 2. Open parentheses and place the numbers. 6, 1, and then 6 on the bottom, and then I'm gonna add because the perimeter is just the fence, so I have to add all the numbers. Let's put 1 over 2 plus 2 3 over 4. Yeah, notice that I have the 3 numbers. The one on the right, which is right and left. The one on the bottoms, which is the right and left. And then plus 6, 1 over 3, 1 divided by 3. I'm sorry. It's right here, 1 over 3. Yeah. The rest is, let's the computer do the adding those mixed numbers and fractions for us. That's a nice simplify. Yeah, notice that they give me 3 answers. They give me as a fraction, as a decimal, was a mixed number. But what we want, if we pick the mixed number, we're gonna be in trouble because it's a 6 never end. So it's not a precise way So let's try to see if we can put as a fraction 163 divided by 6, and this has to be yards. See what happened with that. If not, then we change the to a mixed number. Yeah, it's the easy way is just to place the fraction, and also you can place the mixed number, but the fraction would be simple to find the fraction than the mixed number. 18 is just a plug. You have to click first the point, and then the first number is x and the second number is the y. The y is up or down, the x is just right or left. If it is positive, it's to the right. If it is negative on the x, it's to the left. But if you are on the y, it's negative, means down. If it is positive, it means up. So here we always start from the center, and we're looking for 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then goes down to this point, and we click, and that's it. That's all we need. I think similar. We just look for the point G. G has the coordinates 2 and negative 5. 2, negative 5. Number 20, the less common multiple. The easy way is just placing the two numbers right here, separated by comma, and let the calculator find which is the least common multiple. They call the LCM, and we have 36. You can see the steps by 36 by what you do is just list all the multiples of 12 and the multiples of 18, and when you find the first number that will match between the two, then you stop, and the first number is 36. We use the formula simple interest, and what we need to do is just multiply the numbers. Remember, the total amount, will be equal to the interest plus the principal, which is the amount, the big amount. But the interest, first you have to do the interest, is going to be equal, when you multiply all the numbers, I have to multiply the principal time the rate, which is in percent, time the time, which is in the number of years, that's t. So this is equal to 14,200. Then you say times, so this means time, 2%. Notice that 2%, you have to change to a decimal. You cannot work as a 2%. You have to change it to a decimal by move the point twice to the left, and then times 9 years. So this will give you the interest, and then you have to add the principal, which is this number. Then right here you add again this number to find the total amount. That's it. That's all you have to do. (22) Well, subtract the numbers. What we need to do here, let me just point what we need to do. Subtract the two given numbers and divide it by this number. So these two we subtract. We subtract, and then this one, when you have we divide. So you have a change between these two. Subtract the numbers and then divide by 0.25. So it will be like 55.55, and that's subtract into 73.55, and then divided by 0.25. And that's it. That's all you have to do. $23. Let me explain a little bit though. That's not much. Subtract the two numbers and divide it by 2. That's all you have to do to find the interest. Subtract the two numbers and now remember, if you want to see the step, don't forget to click show example so you can see the steps. Why I had to subtract this 2 and then divide it by 2. You can see the steps in show example. And this is just the interest. But remember, I tell you that the charts are this, the new charts, find the amount in charges. So the interest is this much. Now the charges is gonna be the interest plus, which is this number you find over here, plus 513.50. That's the charges. It's right here. You see it. They tell you this is more than the interest. The charges, the new charges, is gonna be this more than the interest. So you got the charges right here. New charges. The new charges. And that's all you have to do for that one. 24. Yeah, for this one I prefer to use the big calculator. It's we'll take a, well, you can find with a little formula. Let me show you. You can find with minus b 2a. This one will give you, and remember, this is a, this is b, and this is c. With this little formula, it will give you the peak, the maximum value, but this is just x, the value for t, which means the number of hours. The time is in hours. So this formula will give you in how many hours. So that will answer part 1, which is the number of hours. Part B will be the population and maximum. What is the population and the maximum peak? The maximum point is given by this number of hours. You have the maximum population. So what you do is substitute in the formula the maximum value for t. To find the maximum, instead of t, we write this number. When you find this number, then we just substitute in the formula. That's a square. Then we have 75 times t, yeah, and then plus 10,000. Yeah, but that's too much work on that. We can do easily by pressing, remember this is, we have a negative here. We have to be careful. That's negative 17, 13. T squared. And then we have plus 75, 1, 2, 3, t. And then we have plus 10,000, 1, 2, 3. That's all we have, right? 17, 13, t squared plus. So we click on the right. It will, I want the find the vertex, or you can say find the maximum and minimum value. You can also using the quadratic formula. Yeah, and let's say find the vertex, and they give you the vertex. So if you see, then you say the first one, which is x, is not really simplified, so I'm gonna divide it. 5.2 divided by 571, and that give me just simplify. That give me about 22. That's run to the whole hour is 22. So the first answer will be the time will be 22 hours. You can check. Now the population is the y. That's just the x in the graph. The x represents the time, and the y represents the height of the population. So I go back here and look for the y, this big number. So I just divide do the 6, and I got 4 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros divided by the same number, 571. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. We'll say simplify, and then they will give me this number, which is about the it's a big number. So that's the population. So let's just typing over here 830928. 830928. So it will be round to the nearest 1,000. So you have to be careful. They say round to the nearest 1,000. The 1,000 is the third number, so that means that if I have to round to 1,000, I have 830, almost 31,000. So I had to run to 831, 1, 2, 3, 1,000 number, because the 1,000 is the 9 is in the 1,000. This you need 900. No, the 9 is in the 100. The 0 is in the 1,000. So the next number is 9, which means you have to increase the 0 to 1. So that's why it's 31,000. 20 feet, 25. Yeah. Now, there's a lot of people having trouble with this. Let me give you the simple way to do this. Notice that first, these two numbers right here, they are divisible by 2. So let's do that. Yeah, the plan is that a squared minus b squared is always equal, which we call difference of 2 squared, to a plus b a minus b. And that's what we have to finding out. We find a, and then we find b, and everything else is gonna be like on the right side. We factor by a plus b, a minus b. One, I found the a and b. So first find the number. Let me find this number. Go back to pointer. Uh, 162 divided by 2 is 81, and then 98 divided by 2 is 49. So that's all I need. So I have 162 is 81, is 49. Now the square root of these numbers is 9 and 7. So this is A and this is B. The only thing is I have to put the M and this power, which is 6, to the 6th power is half. So I put the 3. And this power with the S is 4, so I put the S to the 2. And that's it. I have A plus B. So 9M3 plus 7S2 close open and close parenthesis, and then 9M3 minus 7S to the 2 close parenthesis, and I finish. That's the way we do it. So let me just indicate, once you click over here, let me just remind over here how to use the tools. Once you click over here, remember you open parenthesis, and we have this yeah, we have these tools. It's very important because now I'm gonna place the knife, and then the next number, the next is the letter, and then I say raise. So that's the exponent to the 3 half, and then I have to click the right arrow on the computer, to move down. So I click the right arrow and I move down. I place plus, then I have 7S, go up, place 2, goes down with the right arrow on the computer, and close parenthesis, and then you do the same, open parenthesis, and then do the same numbers but with the minus in the between the two. You just place a minus in between the two. And they said that's all. You complete 20. Sorry, you complete 25 for that one. Yeah, don't worry because we didn't finish it. That's why it will mark error. It's trying to get to the for this problem. We only need to use this little formula right here. They say b squared. Oh, I'm sorry. Minus 4ac. And remember, this is b, the second number is b, the first number is a, and the last number is c, which is a negative. Notice that we have 15 squared minus 4a, which is 54, and then c, which is minus 4. Yeah, notice that we have two negatives, so it means you don't have to worry about the negatives because everything becomes positive. Whenever you see double negatives, it means a positive value. That's it. That's all we need. And then we use the calculator, and we say 15 squared. This is the square minus, open parenthesis, I have to multiply 4 times 54 times 4, close parenthesis, and then say equal. Oops. Oh, minus, I put minus, sorry. We don't have any minus. So 15 squared plus, open parenthesis, 4 times 54 times 4, close parenthesis, and equal. And then give me 1089. But once you have the 1089, then you do a square root right here, the square root. And you find that it's a whole number, 33. If it is a whole number, then you say yes. If it is a decimal number, then you say no. In this case, it is a whole number, so we say yes. And it has to be positive for that one. 27. And we're just writing the equation from the sentence on top. Yeah, notice how I write this, the expression. A salesperson makes a base salary of 300, so I start with 300 per week. So means 300 per week plus. So I say plus 15%. So that's 0.15 x. Which why I place x, because I don't know how many is the commission on sales. Until you finish the week, then you will know how much is the sales, and then you can apply the commission on sales, which is 15%. But until then, it's an unknown variable. So that's the meaning of x, and that's it. We check. Now here, if I have 7,000, if the sales 7,000, what I do? Just multiply the 7,000, 1, 2, 3, multiply by, like the equation they tell you, multiply by 0.15, and then add 300. That will give you 1,350. 1,350. So you say means that the same person will make 1,350 if 7,000, 1, 2, 3 in merchandise is sold for the week. And then we just check. $28. Well, let's have a little break over here and then try to do that one with Mathway to help us. We say I have m equal to 4, and then comma, and I have this point 1.1. Means I have to use the slope-intercept form, the point-slope-intercept form, but they want the answer is slope-intercept form. So you start with this, with the point-slope form to get the slope-intercept form. There are two different. Let me actually write those equations right here. This is the slope-intercept form of the line. And this is the answer had to be like this, which is we call the slope-intercept form. Why? Because this is the y-intercept and this is the slope. And this is the 1 point right here, the point, and this is the slope. That's why they call this is just the slope, the point slope form, and this is called the slope-intercept form. The slope point slope form and the slope-intercept form of the line. Yeah, let's erase, go back to find the value. Well, let's do the right click, and we want the slope-intercept form, or right in ymx plus p, the same idea. So we have the y is equal to 4x minus 3. So let's put right here 4x minus 3. We check. It's getting slower, the internet. Now 29. Yeah, tell you how do you gonna find this. The boss working together is spent 40 minutes, so working together will be 1/40 working together, but I subtract when one is working alone. Subtract that when one is working alone, but it is 1 hour and 5 minutes. Remember, I cannot mix hours with minutes, so everything has to be expressed as one unit. It cannot be two in the same problem. So here I will change everything to minutes. So 1 hour is 60 minutes plus 5 is 65 minutes. And that gives me what I'm looking for. How much time in minutes will do the second person. And that's it. That's all I have to do. And for that one, I can use the calculator. Let's use the calculator. So we have, let's put right here. Let's open parentheses minus, yeah. Okay, 1 divided by 40 close parenthesis, minus, open parenthesis, 1 divided by 65, close parenthesis, equal. And then I want 1 over x is right here. 1 over x. You see on the left, that's 1 over x. So I click. I got 104. And what I mean by 104, that means that the second person will take the same job by alone 4 minutes to do the same job. We can check. Now we have the idea here will be a little more challenge, but remember the idea is that in the end, first we had to write the equation. Let's say at the end we had to find S1 is going to be equal to S2, and then find x. When this condition happen, we find x. But right now in writing it will be easy too. If you notice, I can write 42,000 plus 3,150 x. That's it. Right? That's the first sentence. The second sentence is 2. So we do the same for the seconds. So this is 42. And then we do the same for the second one. So here is the help that we have using the tools. Work smart by using the tools. Yeah, notice I have 42,000, 3 zeros plus 3,150 x equal, then the second center will be 44,500 plus 2,750 x, and that's it. That's all I need. This one will just find x, and we say about 6.25. In x year, they say around to the nearest year, so it'll be 6 in 6 year. I'll be around to the nearest year. 6 years. Oops, something was wrong. The more representing the salary for the second job in, if it is not 6 year, and let's say around to the nearest year, so let's have in I'm sorry, that's S2. I forget something here. S2 is just the equation I had to write for 500 plus 2,750 x. Yeah, I forgot. This probably has 3 sections, so this is the one we say in 6 year. Yeah, we got it. And let me see if I can do the last but not least. Yeah. This is the perimeter. Let's put right here the perimeter. Remember, perimeter is equal to L. Let me actually remind that the perimeter is equal to 2L, the length, plus 2 times the width. And that's the plan. So let's have that. So we have 2 times the length is 134 plus 2x. There's 2 small x on the left because it's a frame. On the left and the right we have a little frame. So the length is about 2x. Now plus 2 times the width is 66 plus 2x also because of the frame, and that's it. That's all we need to do. And then this nice calculator will compute that value for x. Simplify the expression. Oh, we forgot something. God. The perimeter is equal to, they say, what is the number? The perimeter is 472. 472. That's the whole perimeter would be 472. Now we are back in business. So we have x, it have to be equal to 9. So you know the tedious work is giving, the computer will give us a great help for those, but we had to setting up the equation, tell it exactly what we want for the computer to help you. It's like programming. You have to do the program if you want some help from the computer. I will check, and we're ready to go. We will finish here, and the rest is just, it's up to you. It's very simple. The rest, if you see, oh, that's the Boston. Let me explain the Boston a little bit. Need the Boston here. This is Atlanta, Georgia. There is 2 flights going this direction, and then the other one going that direction. And one is going to Seattle, Washington. The other one is going to Boston, Massachusetts. So the first one to go to Seattle is 4.1 in times. It's 4.1 hours. And the other one makes in 5 hours. They say the plane Boston average 52 is lower. So let's say this is X because we don't know how much they do to Seattle. What we know is that when they go to Boston, this is lower than the plane to Seattle. So it's 52 slower miles per hour. So we have to remember that distance is equal to Vt. Remember, the velocity is always equal to miles per hour, which means distance on top divided by time. So distance is actually a V, we call it velocity, but also we can say the rate. The rate is the velocity. So Vt means when you multiply the velocity times the time, you have the distance. And you can see, let's say, for example, 52, that's the velocity, which is miles per hour, right? Miles per 1 hour. And then in 2 hours, the time it took in 2 hours, then as you can see, I can cancel the hours. 2 times that is 104 miles. You see the hours is gone. There's only miles because this is miles per hour. So that's why the Vt is equal to D. Now, the total distance is 3,124. Total distance. So remember, the total distance is equal to the distance. This is the distance to Boston, the distance to Boston plus the distance to Seattle. So that's it's going to be equal to 5 times x minus 52 plus 4.1 times x. Yes, and then you have your equation. Once you have your equation, the rest is solve for x, right? You solve for x. And for that, the computer will help. You can use the big calculator, solve for x, and they will give you the value for x. That value for x is the velocity of the plane to Seattle. So the first x, the value for x, you put it right here. That's the value for x. And then the part 2, you subtract 52 to get part 2, which is the velocity of the plane going to Boston. Thank you very much.